Welcome to episode 20 of Untapped. We are here on Zoom today with Mr. Levi Kelly being up in Hillsboro, Oregon. Amazing. So we're gonna
In
hit
the
up
ring.
the game a little bit. We're excited. We'll continue on with the guests. We'll figure something out so we can still have guests on the pod. But today we're gonna have the Zoom. I love the Zoom when we get to see Dana on here. Got the three of us. That's pretty cool.
What
Dana
up?
was telling me earlier he had a late night.
Yeah, I did. I was
The
Details,
out.
band?
man. Let's hear what happened.
Nothing. Just one of my favorite artists was in town from Australia, and I went to this club downtown, and I was out till I didn't get home till 3. So yeah, and then
What's the artist's name?
his name's Mallgrab.
Mallgrab, I don't know.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, just a DJ. He's just some DJ.
That's a late night for me too. I got back at 3. We probably got back here at like 3 because we played in Tri-Cities. Kyle, do you know where that's at?
yep.
We played there and then finished at like 9:30 and then bus back from there last night. But we're off today, so it's nice.
It's been a while since I've been in Tri Cities area, but it's nothing to write home about. I think Hillsboro is a little better.
Yeah, I mean, these towns are very similar to West Virginia, so it's almost
Yeah,
normal to me
yeah.
because it's like the same old like country small town type vibe. Hillsborough has a little bit, it's a little bit more modern. They have like a Trader Joe's and a Whole Foods, stuff like that, but it's still kind of like small country town.
You're pretty close. Hillsboro is a really cool, I think, suburb of the Portland metro area. It's close to Beaverton, where Nike headquarters is, and then you got Intel over there. So it's you got a pretty
Yeah,
fluent presence in that area. I think it's a
our
definitely a nice town.
our house is in Beaverton, so we're there
Hell
right
yeah.
there, like 5 minutes from the Nike thing.
Oh man, I'd love to. I'm gonna have to get a map of where you are. It's my old stomping grounds. That's where all I grew up around. I was
They
actually on the other side of town, but I have a lot of family in Beaverton.
I think next week they're getting us passes to the Nike store because I think it's like invite only in there.
Yep, yep, yeah,
Yeah, so next week we'll be able to go,
That's
which will be
sick.
nice.
yeah, yeah. We got a family member working there, and you can. I think once you get that pass, I think you can score a discount online too. So that's always
Oh,
good.
really? It's like 50% off, right?
Yeah,
50
something
or
like that.
40?
Yep, yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
it's
pumped.
so beautiful. Nike is just awesome. I love it. Nike.
Hey,
I feel like it was doing this a little bit. Like I almost feel like Under Armour was really coming up. Now then Nike just kind of took off. They're just on a nice
yeah.
roll right now.
My mom was telling me that she watched the Jordan documentary on Netflix. I think it's on Netflix
Okay.
about his shoe thing with when he signed with Nike and they started producing the Jordan ones and all that stuff. Pretty interesting.
Oh, that's amazing. And the if you start getting to know Oregonians, you're gonna, it's the same kind of vibe you get in any other state or town. The Oregon Ducks are just everything over there. So you got this runner Prefontaine and the story of how Phil Knight started Nike, kind of based off the running shoes. Prefontaine was a famous, like world class runner. Unfortunately, killed in an auto accident. Pretty cool movies on him, but people get all fired up if you mention the Oregon Ducks, Eugene, Prefontaine, Nike, that sort of thing. Because there
Yeah.
isn't much else out there, and I've been thinking about you a lot up there. That we'll have to get some feelings on how it's been going. But one thing people don't realize in places like West Virginia or Oregon is you got the Portland Trailblazers there. Not the best, hasn't been the best marketer team for the past like 15, 20 years or so. But you have that, and then you have like the Hillsboro Hops and maybe the Portland Timbers in soccer, and you got college Oregon Ducks. There's not a lot else out there. So
Right.
for a lot of people that go into a Hillsboro Hops game, maybe it's a crowd of, I'm guessing, like 5,000 or so that could fit in there,
Yeah,
somewhere
probably.
in there. That's a big deal for people out there. It's a huge thing for kids to go see that and be encouraged, seeing that, hey, I can achieve something out of
Yeah.
just the high school level or whatever.
I think that they're tearing down the stadium, or they're not tearing it down, but they're building another stadium and they put $120 million into it. So it's going to be I think they're going to try to get a AAA team here next because so many fans come to the games and they're making so much money that they're like, we're going to dump all this other money into it.
When I grew up, we had the Portland Beavers there. I think they were a trip, and that was a huge. I mean, that was like we would drive up to see the Mariners game or down to see the Oakland A's or the Giants, San Francisco Giants. But going to a Beavers game was like just phenomenal. It'll always be packed in there, so that there's a huge market. I think it's surprising because it rains so much there, but where the area, the Oregon, Portland metro area is big in baseball.
Yeah, yeah. We played. What did we lost Thursday, won Friday, and won Saturday, and then
Oh,
we're off today and tomorrow.
oh, that's nice. Get a little Easter break.
Yeah, I'm surprised because normally they don't do like an Easter off, but this year they did, so it's interesting. I like it.
Cool. Heck yeah.
Did you watch the fights, Kyle?
What?
Oh, nice. Little ad.
Product placement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I'm so stoked and so geeked out on the fights last night. I can't wait to talk about them.
Same.
Let's hear what Dana's. I love Dana's break. I want to hear Dana's
Oh
break.
no, I don't have a breakdown. No, I don't have a breakdown. I just thought there was a lot of good fights. Like seeing Kelvin on the prelim, what do they call it? The feature fight or whatever. Dude, he looked great. Kelvin Gastelum was like, he's always fun to watch when he's like actually doing good. But Rob Font, man, I fucking love Rob Font.
I
He's
can't
so
believe Rob
sick.
Font won. I thought I thought for
Dude,
sure Adrian Yanez would win that fight.
dude, he made Adrian Yanez look like a little chump. Like
Really?
he tried striking with him, and Rob Font was like, "I'm not having any of that shit," and he just boxed his face off.
It was crazy because Giannis started out. I felt like what fired me up is I really got deep into watching the training on trying to find out how the guys are training, and you can never fully tell. But Giannis was like, "I've been studying Marvin Hagler lately." I don't know if you guys probably know that. I love watching Hagler stuff, and I saw when he came out there, he had some of the same movement, and he started off pretty good, but when he stood in front of Font with those straight punches, it was done. It's like, no.
Dang.
Yeah.
Who did Rob Font fight last? Because he got beat up pretty good his last fight.
Wasn't it Cheeto or something?
I think it does.
It might have been his last fight. I mean, Cheeto's obviously fought a bunch
Yeah.
since then, but
When I
didn't
saw that
look
fight, I
great.
was like, man, he doesn't have much pop on his
Yeah.
punches because he was hitting
yeah,
Cheeto so much, but not doing any damage.
Man, like Tim always says, you just can't tell with fights all the variables that go into it. Because look how Cheeto looked in his fight versus if I feel like if Font and Cheeto fought right now, maybe outcome would be different. But then again, the styles, maybe it's about the styles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man,
yeah,
Cheeto
that
looked
was sick.
horrendous against Sandhagen.
Yeah, that wasn't close.
man,
I would like to see Sean versus Corey would be a sick fight.
Hmm.
I still
Sean,
think Sean pieces him up.
Yeah, Sean's faster than he is.
I'd like to see those two grapple. I just want to see Sean just showcase some of his grappling because I can't wait to talk about the main event last night. What did we have about after the, let's see, what was, the Rosas guy, the 18-year-old hype dude.
He lost, right?
Yeah, what the,
yeah, it was
there. I've never seen, he pushed a pace like past any level of like, it was like watching Kamzat on steroids or, like on an energy drink. He went in there with a crazy pace and just couldn't, he just gassed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't close.
And that other dude's respectful. He just stayed chill, stoic, jujitsu kind of mindset. It was good. It was a good fight, I thought.
Yeah.
And then who else was it? Oh, Gilbert and Jorge.
Oh, what a fight!
Yeah. Gilbert just looked. He's just better.
Oh, he looked phenomenal. There was a parallel I saw that I've just been thinking about again and again is the end of the Adesanya Pereria fight. So that what I was seeing is that in the Gilbert Burns fight, Masdival would kind of get in trouble and he'd go to play Possum. But like I just remember I got deep into boxing a while back and I remember being taught if the guy is up against the ropes with his gloves up and get yourself back. Take a step back if you feel like you're getting him and look at his feet. Because if his gloves are up and his feet are secure, he's probably playing possum. And when you're coming in, there's a chance he's going to be able to use that force, off the cage, or I don't know how the cage work versus the ropes. But when I'm seeing that Burns and Masdival keeps trying to play possum and get him in, but Burns is like, you take a step back and like assess the situation and look for a shot. But then you see Pereira, the same thing happened. And he just goes in with reckless abandonment, hands down. He gets caught. And it's like he's so shocked that he got caught that when he goes down and gets back up, he does the same thing. He continues. And then that's the one that took him out. I was like,
yeah. Izzy even said in the post-fight press conference that he was playing possum, because I didn't get to see the fight because we were still playing, but I watched some of the highlights after the game, and it looked like Izzy was hurt, but then I listened to the post-fight press conference, and Izzy was like, they were like, what happened there? And he's like, I was playing possum. I was like, dang. But I didn't know if it was the truth or if he was actually hurt.
I think so, and he was. I think he was losing that fight. And in my opinion, he was getting dominated into the second round. I think Pereira. I really got deep into it. They showed a lot of his Pereira's. I can't ever say his freaking name. Pereira.
Yeah.
He needs a nickname, man, for Brandon.
Oh, Tom.
He put a ton of his training stuff up in there, and I forgot to send it to you guys because I was geeking out on it. But I really felt like he was going to try to go for it, like in the second. A little bit earlier, like the second round, and so he did. He really opened up on him and started throwing the fast, and he was catching him. He was dominating. He was catching that front leg and a lot of kicks, slowing Adesanya down. And then so he did have him hurt when Adesanya went back, but he just played possum and waited. He wasn't hurt as bad. He kind of acted. I think you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That was a sick fight though, because the walkout for Pereira, he comes out and he does this thing, and the vibe is just so fired up. And then the finish was that was amazing. I was just pulling the arrows out.
Yeah,
I was
like that.
Fired up for that one. That was too fun. Gilbert Burns looked so good though. His whole energy, his stamina, he did his jiu-jitsu was crazy.
He's for real. He's won like 3 or 4. His last loss was to Usman.
Yeah, that's right.
But he's won like 3 or 4 since then.
And his training is insane too. The way he's training, he looks like he's doing a lot of beginning Levi Kelly principles. He probably needs the next level, but he's looking like it's following some good functional training methods.
Kyle, did you notice they were sweating heavy in there last night? Dude, they look like they got rained on. Like a majority of the fights that went like longer, like those guys were sweating. I was wondering if it was like super hot in there or something, because they were.
Humidity. You're so right. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Miami humidity kind of coming through there a little bit or something.
Gilbert said that he thought Masvidal was lotioned up though. He said that he would swear he's like 100% he had lotion on.
I wouldn't put it past him, but man, I think Dana's on something though, because the humidity probably it's got that. Levi knows about that Florida, whatever.
It's sticky. I like it for baseball though, because you can the grip on the ball, like when the ball's dry, then it's slick. If the ball is a little bit damp or a little bit like moisture on it, it's more tacky.
I wonder if in Oregon too, because you get, if it's not raining, it's usually a little bit damp, so you might be able to gather a little bit of liquid.
Yeah, and the air is heavy, so the ball doesn't fly that far.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Which is good.
It's a pitcher's world out there. Nice.
Yeah, it's definitely a good place to pitch. But it's cold.
I was going with Flokey. You see that Levi got a new puppy?
Yeah, he was on earlier.
It's been good. It's been a little bit challenging, but it's been good. He's good in the car, which is nice. Like as soon as he hits the back seat, he's sleeping. So that's nice because he'll just sleep for 8 to 10 hours. But the problem is once he sleeps for that long, then we get wherever we're going and he's wound up.
Oh, you guys get to drive? You don't have to take the bus or van?
I take the bus and then Taya just drove like behind the bus.
No way. That's cool.
Because it was only like 2.5 hours,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
she won't come to all of them, but if it's close, like we'll just get a hotel and she'll stay there.
How
Nice.
far do you guys play out in that area?
I think we have like an 8 hour trip at the end of the season, but for right now, I think the farthest trip is like 4 hours. We go to Canada soon. I can't remember the town's name.
Or like Vancouver area?
Yeah, yeah, we play there.
That's nice. That's a nice. That'll be nice to go up there. That city's pretty cool.
Yeah, all the players are like, yeah, we can't wait till we go there.
Yeah,
But
I wouldn't mind living there actually. We used to the drinking age was 18 when I was younger. So I recall going up there a few times, like to just cross the border. That's when you could cross the border more easily,
yeah,
going out.
I've heard that the Canadian police at the border are like assholes, like they're strict.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, it's crazy. People are still wearing the mask here.
Oh wow.
Like a lot of people are wearing masks. It's absurd to me.
Yeah, Arizona is a whole different thing.
Yeah, I would say at least 50% of people are wearing masks.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah, interesting times. I guess it's super like this is that part of the country.
It's gotten so liberal in Portland area. Man,
Yeah.
when you get into the smaller towns, though, like you're kind of if you go eastern Oregon stuff, then I think people loosen up a little bit.
Yeah, it seems country. Like there's
Yeah,
like fishing and hunting and all that stuff. It seems to be. We saw
hunting.
elk the other day. Did you see the snowstorm that we got caught in on the way here?
That was where did you
Yeah.
guys take the back way through Nevada?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking you were taking the I-5 up through Cali and Shasta. So I was
Yeah,
that ooh, you must man, that's a
we
hard
should
one.
have, but we went through that rainforest. Or is it a rain or a national for it was I mean, it was snowing like
Yeah,
there was 10 feet of snow on the side of the road.
Holy shit.
man,
Yeah, there was probably 7 to 8 inches on on the actual road.
jeez.
Um,
And
yeah.
I know that drive can be a little tough because in some spots it's like only 2 lanes or whatever.
Well, it was mandatory change. You had to have change, so I had to turn around and go a different way. And the different way was like 2 more hours, but then you could have the off-road tires, which my truck has, so I was able to go. Because
Jeez,
they were pulling people over that didn't have chains on the other way.
Down.
jeez, man. That's insane. Did you guys you must have driven quite a while in those days.
Yeah, it was like an hour and a half of going only 20 miles per hour
Oh.
because of snow. Like I was contemplating just turning around and getting a hotel and trying to do it the next
Yeah,
day.
yeah. Jeez.
But there was like a little car in front of me, so I was like, if this car can make it, I should be able to make it. My dad said everybody's used to driving in the snow out here though, so it's no problem for them.
In the port, yeah, where you guys came up, yeah, the Eastern Oregon gets a little more snow. The Portland metro area is weird. Some years it won't even snow at all, and then other years we'll just like one year we got an ice storm, and it's not really people aren't used to it so much. So when it does snow, everything shuts down. Like everything gets canceled, school gets shut down. Maybe over like only 2 inches of snow, but what gets it up there is the wind and the ice. The ice is the worst. You might get like 3 inches of ice or whatever. And then it's like,
Yeah, that's the most dangerous drive one too. I feel like
oh yeah, no, 100%.
we slid one time a little bit, but other than that, I didn't slide too much.
Man, oh
But I
man.
was scared. I was definitely scared.
What are
Hey,
you
that's
guys
why I live
thought?
here.
Yeah, right. Dana knows all about that
Yeah.
kind of weather.
I
No.
was like, I can't believe I'm going to baseball. Like I'm going to baseball season and I'm going through this snowstorm.
Yeah, right.
It didn't
Hey, that
make
was my
sense.
bro, that was my whole life in high school.
But Could be worse. I could be like, at least there's stuff to do. I mean, there's a little bit of like modern grocery stores. I can eat healthy. I did see that there was some jiu-jitsu gyms around here, but I'm gonna do my best to stay out of those.
Yeah, you
Because
got
Team
Team
Quest
Quest.
is, yeah, in Portland, right?
Yes, yeah. I think there's 2 locations there now.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was the same group still running it as when Tim was there.
I think it's a little bit different now. I don't think Chael I would try. I would want to go train where Chael Sonnen's spot is. I think he's like he's over there on that side of town. I don't think it's Team Quest where he is now, though. I think it's a different gym.
Is it Impact? I saw Impact.
Maybe it is. I'd have to look that up again. But man, his gym, they have such you know, the way Sonnen trains. Then they have a really strong boxing influence there.
Right.
Solid jiu-jitsu, great wrestling, of course. I think that might be the spot.
Yeah. I would like to just go in there and see it, even if I
Yeah,
didn't
just
train.
do a little research.
Yeah, just scope the scene a little bit.
Try
Yeah,
to get Chael Sonnen on our podcast while you're up there too.
Yeah.
do some name
Yeah.
dropping.
That's my like my fan. I've been such a fan for a long time. And then he's from Oregon and stuff. I'd love to get him.
He was the first one to kind of play the bad boy, like bring the WWE into the UFC type vibe.
I just love. I'd soak up every time he was on the mic when he was out there. It was so fun.
Yeah. You saw that Endeavor bought
I was gonna bring that up next. Good call.
the WWE.
Yes, I think it's good. $10 billion or so. No,
That's the same company that owns IMG too.
no way.
Oh
Yep.
wow.
Jeez,
Yep.
that's crazy. Where is Levi Kelly gonna fit in the future on that one?
I got to fit in there somewhere because I've been to IMG.
Right? Man, I think it's great for UFC. I mean, hopefully, I think WWE has really mastered the global market, and
Yeah.
UFC is an international. You know, we get internet. They've had fights overseas, but I don't think they've really tapped into all the money that can be made overseas. They're still a pretty new company, so that would be a huge thing to get fighters pay up.
Yeah. And you could see crossover too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I could almost see the WWE being like I don't know. I guess it's a tough lifestyle too, but almost like if you're done fighting, you can go be in the WWE.
A retirement home for UFC fighters. Is that what you're gonna
Yeah.
say?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Because they already know the moves. It's basically, from what I understand, WWE is like basically flowing. Like your flow going with the person. He knows what you're doing. You're letting him do it, and it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Those
Got it.
jumping through the tables though, I think there's a pain element involved.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it
Yeah.
still taboo to? Because I know even like John Cena era, you couldn't really say you were on steroids. Is it still taboo like that, or because I was thinking, I'm like, okay, well the
Yeah,
UFC
it
fighters,
is.
they could just go get juiced up over at WWE and they'll be fine. They'll recover and you know.
Yeah.
From what I understand, they got to do it like when they got busted. It's like it really hurt that business, and this is just my opinion. It hurt that business a lot. The WWE, TNT were booming. All of a sudden, that really hit them hard. And I think in the last 10 years, I think the guys have figured out ways to optimize HGH, which is hard to test for, and some peptides, and getting with some new mixes of stuff. Because man, how the heck else are you going to be taking those hits every week like that, jumping off the top rope? I was stoked to see I don't follow it too closely, but I got a lot of respect for it. But I was stoked to see Logan Paul at the last one where he had KSI dressed up as the Prime bottle. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Yeah, I saw it.
Head to toe Prime bottle, and that's his partner in the match. And so Logan Paul is going up to the top ropes to launch outside of the cage onto his opponent who's laid out on the table and getting close to the table. At the last second, he pulls KSI onto the table on the prime thing, and Logan Paul lands on the prime
The prime.
outfit. That was beautiful marketing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
That
crazy.
stillness.
He's so athletic too.
Oh
Like
man,
he's taken that sport to another level because of the amount of athleticism he has. It's like a gymnast doing it.
I totally agree.
Nobody else is jumping off the ropes and stuff like that like he is.
I love too that you got Vince McMahon involved in their whole. They've really done a good job at being able to brand and market every single person on their roster. There isn't somebody that gets into the WWE that doesn't have some mic skills and branding skills and tapping into something about that person. They can kind of like your friend, like what he's tapped into. I forget the his name. I kind of been following his stuff.
Brandon, yeah.
Yeah, that guy looks amazing. It's like almost like that
Yeah.
Undertaker, Roman Reigns vibe or something. But there's some of these UFC athletes. It's like they get on the mic and they say kind of cringe stuff, or they're just no personality, blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh, well, we don't really learn who they are. Want to go and look into their training, where they train, or the element of what who this person is, what their character is. I think that's how you build.
Yeah,
That's
I think
true.
you have to practice that too. I mean, some people are born with it. Like I think Sean is just
Oh yeah,
somebody that's just born with that wittiness and just I don't know. He it seems pretty genuine what he's saying. Sometimes he elevates it, but it's all kind of who he is. But I don't know. Most people just have to practice that, I feel like. And
Yeah.
some guys aren't willing to do it.
it's true. And I think you can tap into look what Covington did. I mean, he had no background of personality or training or whatever. And I know he got some good direction from Chael Sonnen, but you don't necessarily have to tap into, that not everybody is going to have that gift. There only comes along a Muhammad Ali, Conor McGregor, Sean O'Malley. You don't have those skills. Well, Covington just tapped into this thing that he kind of little bit of him in there that he's brought out and magnified in the surface of this heel character.
Yeah. It's acting. Like not only do you need to be able to fight, but if you want to make the most amount of money that you can, you kind of have to play the act as well.
That's true. That's true.
Which I think
Yeah.
is like doing that now with the Avatar stuff and all the anime stuff that he does.
Yeah. True.
They're trying at least.
Yeah, Kamaru's not. He always kills me when he talks. I can't stand his post fight stuff. But like Mike Chandler does like fucking monologues. Like
Yeah.
he's got like recited, whole stories and stuff.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, now I'm thinking about them. They need to all have because the WWE has managers to help people prepare for that. I don't think these guys are. I think some of the things that they say, it's like, oh no.
Wait, Kyle, did you
Right.
see that dude Joe Pfeiffer or whatever? Pfeiffer, his fight? He was the guy that Dana White he bought
Pumped
him a
up. Yeah.
house, yeah, and all that stuff after.
Oh, that's good.
Dude, he was great on the mic. He killed the dude he fought. I think like minute and a half, knocked him out.
Yeah.
And when he got on the mic, he was good. I was like, damn, this kid's actually probably gonna be something in the UFC for sure.
What's his
That
name?
guy Joe Pfeiffer, yeah.
Yeah,
That guy he fought that looked so slow. I was like, I'll knock that dude out.
Oh yeah, let's go.
Maybe not, but that's what I thought when I was watching
yeah.
the fight.
Joe looked big and strong. He looked
Yeah, he
really,
is
really
huge.
good.
That's at 185.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's a big mother. He's big.
He's
So
a
he
big
probably
mud for
walks
that.
around at what, 210, 215 maybe.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I was thinking when I could be off here, set me straight, because there's an excitement I think in the heavyweights, for example, of it's where I'm going with this the heavyweight versus the lighter divisions and the skill sets. And the heavyweight, oh man, or even like when I was watching Adesanya Pereira, they're they're uh they're heavier, they're middleweights than like a bantamweight where 135s, but their skill set. I mean, these two guys last night are two of the best probably skill sets we ever seen in striking. But they don't really have a grappling game so much. And then you go to the heavyweights and there's even less skill set. But then you have that one punch knockout, the excitement or whatever. But like if you want to make it at 135, 145, 150, I think 135 is a pop, and that's just it's blowing up right now. Man, you better be skilled in every area, like the highest level of striking, the highest level of grappling. Those guys can't get away with it. So to me, it's producing like stronger MMA skill sets at the lighter weight classes.
Yeah, for sure. I think just they can do more because they can move better than like
That's
a
true.
guy that's heavy. Like a guy that's heavy is gonna have a hard time like even getting his legs to triangle.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
Just from a flexibility standpoint.
That's true. That makes me want to see Khamzat versus Adesanya. Like if I don't know if Khamzat's deal with making that weight or whatever, but like because when we saw the last fight, Adesanya and Pereira, when they went to the ground, it was like, oh man. So like if Khamzat takes down Adesanya, there's a big hole in the game now, dude.
I would like to roll jujitsu only with Izzy.
That'd be interesting. Let's see if we can arrange that.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. Dane and I miss Levi being here, man. It's not the same.
I know. I wish I was in that weather for sure.
Oh, I hate to tell you today, man. The sun was on.
I know.
Not too
I'm
hot.
like I'm afraid I'm gonna get pale. Like I'm like, dude, I'm gonna be pale. I don't know when it gets hot here. Maybe the end of May. Hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
It sucks because sometimes you get out of school later in Oregon because of the rain. So like we get out of school the middle of June, and then sometimes it'd still be raining. It's like, oh no.
Yeah. It seems like people though, they're used to the rain. So they're out running and I mean they're doing everything in the rain.
You're right.
It's like they're still doing it.
It changes it takes your mood if you can't, because you'll go through maybe like 70 days where you don't even see blue sky whatsoever.
Right.
That starts to, I don't know, there's a little something it does with your whole mood.
Right. It's like at some point we got to get outside regardless.
Yeah. If you go on the other side of Mount Hood, I don't know if you know where that is yet. If you're going east into Oregon, it's probably like a 3-hour drive from where you're on. The other side of that is Bend, Oregon. It doesn't, you guys would absolutely love it there. I don't know if you're going to travel into that area for games, but in that area it doesn't rain as much, and it's got the 4 seasons, and there's so much fun stuff to do. It's my favorite place in Oregon.
Nice. We were gonna go one day to the coast. I think we're only an hour 30 from the coast, and just see the water there.
Oh, it's so clean. It's so clean there. If you go up Astoria, Oregon, there's some movies that are older, a lot of old, they're mostly older movies like Goonies and things like that. It's just a small version of San Francisco, really interesting town, and a lot of steep hills, and it's like built on almost like a small mountain. At the very top of it is this column, Astoria column, and it winds, you walk all the way to the very top and you can see this. It's my favorite view I've ever seen. Like you can see the Pacific Ocean, Columbia River, and just this awesome thing. It's a fun town to travel. Then the coast is there. You have a couple beaches. You guys aren't too far. When it's not, again, it's like when it's raining there, it kind of bums it out a little bit. But to me, it's like because of the rain, when it is nice, it's like the cleanest, most beautiful.
Because Flokey loves the water. We took him to the river. He's already trying to get in the water. So we want to get him at least used to the beach, because in Florida there's going to be beach too.
Oh, imagine him out there. The water too. Ooh.
Plus, I think that breed needs a lot of exercise. Like, he wants to run around and stuff.
Man, that's good. That keeps everybody moving.
Yeah. Yep. It's like taking care of a baby.
Jeez. Yeah. Man, it's Easter.
Easter.
I don't know what I've been all over the map in the last years on Easter. I've been in different churches where one church is like, the Easter comes from Ishtar, which is the goddess of Roman and the eggs and fertility, and there's evil in it, and it conflicts with the the Bible. There's no Easter in the Bible. And then I've been in other churches like Easter is everything. This is awesome. So I'm kind of like, there's a verse, Romans 14, that says, whatever day is special to somebody, as long as it's not interfering with God, then hey, let that be a great day to them, or something like that. That's kind of where I am. But then I'm like, I know people that I was connected to before, they went really deep into the, Easter versus that is not a really true biblical holiday. So I'm like, oh, I can't say happy Easter to him. And then this other church, I got to say happy Resurrection Day. And then this person doesn't celebrate. It's like, oh, dude. Happy day.
Yeah, just have a good day.
That's right. Have a good day.
I was talking to somebody, and they were talking to me about Halloween. They were like, Halloween is not, that's like basically worshiping the devil, he was saying. I was like,
In the churches like that too, where there's and they make good cases. They go down. I notice it's always down this channel of like a YouTube video where there's this. It's like this one overseeing sort of thing, and looking through the channels, it's like this guy is saying that that's the history of Halloween. I don't know. So then I look around and I'm like, not necessarily. We can't really tell. So then I'm just like, well, who really cares? It's like what we make it. Most people that celebrate Halloween, they're not going out there and worshiping the devil. They're out there to connect with the community and have a good time.
Yeah, they let the kids dress up and eat some candy.
It could be true though, because my parents got married on Halloween and then they got divorced, so it could be true.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. No, Halloween was always a special little holiday for us in the house, so I don't know. I enjoyed it, but so was
we would dress up.
Some churches are doing that where they do Halloween at the church. I think that's cool, like trunk or treat. Everybody parks a car, and then because nowadays, like it's like my kids they're at the end of their trick or treating, but man, sometimes it's like they're like 10 and 11. They want to go with their friends, and that's cool, but there's so many sketch people. Like one time, this woman put a big rock into one of their bags, and I was there. Like I didn't know what happened until after we had walked away a little bit. It's like there's just too many like people out there that just don't have, you can't really trust.
Yeah. I always say, like, sometimes there'll be some freaks out on Halloween that you got to watch out for. Adults dressed up. I'm like, I don't know about this.
Yeah, exactly. Man, oh man.
What else we got?
Well, I'm growing a beard. I don't know if anybody.
I know it.
I'm trying to get a nice Levi beard going, but
that's coming in thicker than mine.
That is.
I'm on beard PEDs. I think
it's
because
insane.
I go off and on. I spent so I've been at this like 10, 11 years. So I spent about 5, 6 total years where it was like no hair, even the eyebrows are gone. So like I go to the store and I catch like kids looking at me like, what the hell or whatever. So then some of these chemos took everything off, and then it was some of them I couldn't grow a beard at all. Like the beard wouldn't grow. I tried to grow it and it just went. And I got radiation in a couple of places, so hair doesn't grow there. But I did this last trial, and there's something about those T cells. I was like, oh shoot, my beard's starting to come in. Let's go. And then I was like, oh dang it, there's way more gray than I remembered from before. So I was like, let's put some a little color in there. I'll try and make it a nice blondish Levi red or something. And I put it in there, and went out and did stuff, and I totally forgot it was in. And left it in for like, I don't know how long, over an hour. And Ara comes into the room. She looks at me, just falls on the ground laughing because it was just starch black, like my beard. It just looked so ridiculous. So it was, trying to manage like the right coloring, and then you got to I forgot you got to take care of it, and but it's feeling good.
Yeah.
See how far we can take it.
Somebody was saying like that facial hair is like a guy's makeup.
Yeah, that's true. And jiu-jitsu is different too, because it gets sweaty. So I was like, God damn it, with all that stuff going, the gym, there's so many people in there, and I think that a little staff. So it's like, man, I gotta
keep it clean.
Yeah.
How was the trip? I don't know if did we talk about the trip that for the trial?
No, I don't think so. So I went up to Rochester, Minnesota. It's about an hour and a half southeast of Minneapolis. Dana knows the area. Have you been to Rochester, Dana?
Yeah, a few times.
Oh yeah, probably for baseball and things, huh?
Yeah.
What did you think of Rochester?
I don't know if I have much to talk. I don't think it's anything to talk about really that I can
That was me
remember.
too. The first time I went there because I lived in La Crosse, Wisconsin for a few years, and I went and visited Rochester one day, and same thing. I was like, huh, that town of 100,000. So I flew into Minneapolis, and man, shout outs to the Timbo Sugar Show Jobin Network because a guy has named Max Yule has been following my story and reached out to me and said, hey, I live close by. Would you like a ride from the airport? And me, I was like, I was talking to Levi about this before I left. I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Well, I said, well, how you got your flight now and this? How are you getting there? You didn't rent a car. I said, oh, Max is picking me up. She's like, who the hell is Max? No, you're not doing that. Gago, this Filipino word and jackass means or something. I'm always called Gago. It seems like, but no, she's like, Gago, you're not no, you're not doing that. You don't know who this guy is and stuff. And so I kind of had to show her, no, he trains jujitsu, it's the Joven Network. And she was really worried about me. Like, I'm so grateful. But like, even like when I went there, the dude was the best guy. I'm telling you, he's been to Arizona a couple times, and he's gonna come down and visit. So we'll hook him up. And he trains up there outside of Minneapolis. He trains, I think he's 22 or so, and trains MMA jiu-jitsu, trains hard. He's a wrestling background from high school. He goes to school full time out there in North Dakota University, drives back and forth, and then he works in construction 40 hours a week. So the dude's
Wow.
a hard worker, just I mean, just like us. We ended up just nonstop talking. Like our drives, we missed our exit because we were just so deep into talking. He when he drove me to Rochester, he stayed with me, and I go up and down sometimes, and I think he kind of sensed I was on a down, so he stayed with me and walked through the town. We went out to eat, made sure I was checked into the hotel, and just a really,
Wow.
it was like a blessing straight from God. But that town, we were there for the Mayo. I met, this town is 5 miles square or so, and it's all Mayo Clinic, like on every corner, and they have little businesses in between it. But the Dana, man, I don't, that cold, man. That cold was insane. Walking outside, anything that was not covered, my hands or my face, I think it was like 15 degrees. Dude, it's not like the cold plunge. It was, man, no, this is bad. But the crazy thing is they built an underground tunnel system in that city where it's like a subway, so you could walk anywhere. And I was tripping out. This smoking is illegal there, so I couldn't, it would have been nice just to smoke and just walk around. But I kind of just walked around and got lost in those tunnels. It was insane. But Mayo Clinic, 20 floors up, I met with this doctor, originally from South Africa, and he's been studying lymphoma, the kind of cancer I have, for 25 years, just that kind of cancer. So he's a world top specialist, and there's a trial that it's kind of a new thing. It's a monoclonal antibody, but it's kind of a nucleated. It's an advanced version. It's a new class of drugs coming out. It looks pretty awesome. Pretty excited to maybe get a shot, but they want me to go up. The actual infusion of the chemo, it goes to the port that I have in my chest here. It's just this little disc. They put a needle and it goes in. They want me to go up once a week and do labs. So every week I go and do labs, and I'm like, so I told my doctor here, and he's like, that is the most ridiculous, going up just to have labs run. Why can't we just do it at Mayo Clinic here, send them up? But the pharmaceutical companies have these crazy interstate regulations. So now I feel bad. My doctor is so busy saving lives. He's got to deal with this crap of convincing the pharmaceutical company. Because if I go up there every single week, that's kind of a little bit of wear and tear on the body. Every 3 weeks I could do it. They're going to give a stipend, I think. It's really weird too, of $200 a night for a hotel, which is a lot because I spent $80
It is.
on a hotel, and then $100 only for the flight. So I'm like, can we just put that into the flight? But at least it's something. So if we go up once every 3 weeks. I'm pretty excited about right now. Right now, and I'm in a crazy good moment. I'm really grateful we're floating on a bridge thing, but unfortunately, I'm getting these if you could see that these tumors are they're starting to go up into here. So when I tried to roll jujitsu a couple times this week, and you get into side control, and somebody's pushing their arm, there's like I almost about passed out from the pain. So we're kind of covering up these cancer symptoms, and so we're trying to clear it because you can't interfere with the trial, which is supposed to be in about 5-6 weeks. We're trying to clear it and hit it with a chemo, a really strong chemo right now to kind of make sure, because I'm kind of on a thread right now. If I caught a cold or something went wrong, that might be a little bit there. It's
Right. We're rolling though.
Nice, dude. So every 3 weeks you're gonna go.
Good. We'll have to all meet up in Rochester and do the podcast. No, we should all roll up to Hillsboro, Oregon.
That's what I was gonna say to you. Why don't we go up there? I'm just watching baseball anyway.
Oh my God, I am so down to do like a road trip up there, man. We'll just power through like one day of driving. Just
I'm down.
Off. I think we could do that drive in 18 hours.
Yeah, bring your rain jacket. You can go. You can fly on the country roads as long as you don't get caught in the snowstorm. You can go like, I don't know if I should be saying this, but I ran like 85, 90 the whole way.
Yeah, dude, when I came out to Arizona from Chicago, I was running 90, 95 usually. Yeah.
Yes. Some of the speed limits are like 75, 80. So you can whip it.
Yeah.
There's sticklers in Portland, I think. Once you get to Portland,
the speed limit in Hillsboro, this town is 35. Most like the whole town is like 35, maybe 45.
Dane, how are you? How can people manage? You have to go 35 everywhere. Oh.
I was telling Tay, I'm like, we have Florida tags, so don't be speeding because they like to get the out of state people.
Oh man, that's true. That's true.
So you gotta be careful.
What do we got up for fights? I feel like the next big one is gonna just be the Cejudo Sterling, right?
Well, Max Holloway fights next week. Him and Arnold Allen fight next week.
Oh shoot, I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that's a huge
fight. Good card? Is there good fights on that card?
That's a good question. I don't know. I can give it a look real quick.
So what's Sugar's situation? He'll fight the winner of Aljamain and Henry.
That looks like that's what the plan is, and I was thinking about it this morning. I was like, then let's say Sterling wins, and then he's done with that division, and he goes up. Then what is it? There's an interim belt, so I guess it'd be Mallgrab and O'Malley, right?
Yeah,
that would be interesting. If Cejudo wins, I think Cejudo will take that O'Malley fight because it's a great moneymaker.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And I mean, Cejudo is just so small.
Yeah. Oh,
I just don't see. I mean, he's for real, but
yeah,
5'4" is tiny.
And maybe being
out those 3
years, being out 3 years, he might be slowing, just a little bit because he puts, he's a pretty quick dude, right? For wrestling and everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. Tim's breakdown seems spot on. I think Sugar pieces him up.
Yeah, I think so too.
I agree.
Yeah. I would guess that Henry's not as fast as he was in his prime as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
thinking.
the dudes, it seems like the dudes that Henry was beating when he was, those dudes have been getting, like Dominic Cruz, Cheeto just knocked him out.
Yeah.
And then look what Corey just did to Cheeto.
Yeah.
So it's like these level of guys are on a different level than what it was, 3 years ago when you were a champ.
That's so true. And then you've got even what's his name? They had the big match, and then he went with TJ Dillashaw. Cody is
right. Look at Cody.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think these young guys are on just a different level.
They are, yeah.
Man, I agree. That fight.
Yeah, what's that 145er that just fought? He's only 22. He's from what is it, Italy or something? He fought on like 2 cards ago. I was just looking. I forgot. Charles and Benil fight. They're the co-main event on
Oh yeah,
Cejudo. That's a huge fight,
Oh,
yeah. I don't know who wins that one. I think that'll be a
dude. I don't
interesting.
know.
same.
I was never on the Charles train that much. I always thought people were just scared to get into his guard, which I guess rightfully so, but he always got hurt in fight and nobody just went down and beat him up. Like he would get 3 lives because as soon as he would get knocked
Yeah.
down, people would just let him up.
He's got the cheat code.
Yeah,
Speaking
yeah. He's
speaking of
definitely
that,
talented.
do you guys ever watch Crone Gracie stuff back in the day? Like he used to put out YouTube's. It's like where JX gets a lot of influence on his vlogs and stuff like that from like Nate Diaz Army. Crone Gracie's a part of that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh, but he's gonna be fighting on that card too. Crone is against Charles Jourdain, so I'll be sick to see him back.
Nice.
Dang.
I wonder if Diaz will fight again.
They seem like they're going for those the event, the Logan Paul type of events. So
Yeah,
they'd be
which
smart.
makes sense. That dude's. I mean, he's done his deal. He doesn't need to be. I'm not a huge fan of seeing him fight in the UFC anymore. I think he's just taking too many shots now.
100%. Gym wars, all that.
Yeah, yeah,
I think he runs it back with Connor at some point.
yeah. I think so too. But I think for his brain, I don't know if that's the best thing to do.
No.
What the Ultimate Fighter's coming out too pretty soon, right? I'm looking forward to this season.
Ooh. I want to see when that's coming out. Let's see.
Yeah, that's got to be soon.
I think it's coming up in a few weeks. And it's less than a month now for that Sterling Cejudo, so that'll probably answer some questions on hopefully when Sugar's gonna fight. Because man, it would be sweet if they could turn that fight around. Maybe somebody gets a quick win and then they'd be ready to go in 2 or 3 months. But otherwise, it could be October.
Yeah. Well,
Unless it's
hopefully
Yeah,
it's in selfishly, hopefully it's in the off season so I can watch it because chances are I will be playing.
yeah.
We'll be playing somewhere.
you're gonna have to call out sick that day.
Yeah, take a PTO.
Oh, man, that's
Yeah. How much time is that, Dana?
An hour.
that sounds good.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
solid. I'm freezing out here. I'm outside.
What the heck?
Yeah.
What's it look like out around there? What's
Here,
the front
let's see if I can switch to. This is just our backyard. I mean, we have a pretty solid house.
Dang, that's cool.
You can see that. I mean, it's 2-story. It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then we just have this. This is good for the dog.
Oh yeah, man.
So
In
let me
this
see
fat grass.
if I can switch this back around.
No doubt.
There we go.
I didn't think about that. There's got to be a lot of similarities with West Virginia because it gets pretty green and thick with the forest out there, right?
Yeah, it's almost the same, it feels like. I think West Virginia has the sun maybe a tick more, and Hillsboro is a little bit more modern than West Virginia, or the part of West Virginia that I lived in, at least. We don't have like Trader Joe's and stuff like that yet.
They don't have Sprouts in Oregon, right?
No Sprouts, but they have a Whole Foods.
Oh, nice. Right on.
Yeah, yeah, and we're like 2 or 3 miles away from all that, which is nice.
Oh, yeah. There's no
Yep.
recharge center though. Damn it, we're gonna have to get going on this franchising, man. Get it up there.
Yeah, yeah, it could be all over the country. You never know.
That's what we're shooting for right now. I can't believe I was talking to a guy about that. When was it? Today's Sunday. Yeah, just yesterday. I talked to a guy about how to set up for franchising for national. I think we got a
Yeah.
shot. You never know. Why not dream big? Go for it. Man.
Yep. Arizona, Texas, and Florida. That'd be the
Oh,
3 places I would put it first, at least.
well, obviously we got to do Florida, man, because we got
Yeah.
family up there.
Yep. We could do that easy. But sounds good.
For sure, dudes. Well, that's all I got. You guys got anything else? Let's
I'm
see.
good to go.
I'm all
Thought it was
good.
fun.
Yeah, maybe. What were you thinking, Kyle? Next time, how do you want to go about doing the podcast? Find some
Oh
guests
yeah,
and do regular, or what?
Yeah, what do you make of that if we do, let's say I get a, we get a pretty decent guest, and then we do this yet? I can't even remember. We did it with Dan Garner. What do you guys think if we had a guest in the recharge center, and then we'll just zoom in Levi?
Yeah, I thought that's what I was thinking.
I think that'd be
Yeah,
perfect.
that works.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah. Even if it's just like if maybe it I don't know. Would it make sense to me just come on the whole time, or for me to come on or like you and the guy go for a little bit and then bring kind of like that, or
Whatever works for you. I mean,
I
really,
just think what would be like the most pleasing to the eye from
well,
a viewer standpoint.
I think people are going to want to look at your face a lot more than mine. So I think we better have you in the mix.
We'll just have to figure out a way that
Yeah,
I can be so that way you and the guests are not like looking down at the computer, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
we'll get you on like a JBL speaker or something.
put you up on the projector. I got an
We'll
idea. Why
have
don't you fly down for every one of these? We'll just
we'll have time to figure it out.
pretty soon.
Little
We got 1,000 views. So I mean, next step is 10. We'll be at 1 million real soon. So once it hits there,
Yep.
we can Untap can afford to fly Levi and Taya down. We'll go that way.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be sick. The untapped private jet.
Ooh, that's cool.
We'll figure it out. Whatever you guys want. I mean, I'm down for pretty much I'm off every Monday and we play, but I don't have to be at the field on the weekends until like 2, so we can shoot early on the weekends. Just let me know.
For sure.
I can always pop over to recharge on Mondays. I don't. What time do you guys close on Mondays, pal?
Close them. Let's see. Well, look, we can make something work. I'm sure we can get some. Mondays and Thursdays we're open pretty much early until late, but we can definitely figure. I'm sure. The other thing we can do too is we could try to scout out some here and there some guests onto the Zoom that we kind of were like kind of what we did with Nico, that we couldn't get into the place, but somebody
Yeah.
sweet that we could get in touch with.
And
That's
I live with 2 other players, so if we ever need like if we just want to have we don't have anybody lined up, I can always get one of the guys to chime in too.
definitely
That'd be great.
Yep.
it's a good idea. For
Cool.
sure. All right.
Sounds good.
Happy Easter.
All right.
Happy Easter, guys.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.